Oh, to live in Hawkins, Indiana. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another Stranger Things video. So today I've got a unique tier list as I'm going to be ranking iconic Stranger Things locations. I have a couple different criteria for this ranking. The main one being how likely I would be to hang out at this spot, but I'm also factoring in scenes that take place at these locations in the actual show, and just the overall vibes of the location. Before I get into this though, be sure to hit that like button and comment down below your favorite locations in Stranger Things. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. It means a lot. And if you want extra content that's exclusive, like live Q&As every other week, reaction videos, or commentary tracks to movies and shows, including Stranger Things, you can find that over on my Patreon. Any support over there truly does mean the world. Without further ado, let's dive into this tier list. So here's the tier list. Again, I'm ranking these based on how likely I'd be to hang out at this spot in Hawkins. The tiers are all day, every day. I'm there pretty much, right? I love hanging out here. Often, which means I'd go to this place a pretty good bit. Every now and then, which means, on occasion I'd go. Rarely means I'm hardly ever there, but don't count it out fully. And never catch me there means never, ever would I go to this spot. Without further ado, let's begin. First, we've got the Starcourt Mall, which, come on, I'd be there all day, every day. I like going to the malls growing up. I didn't grow up in the 80s, but I still had malls. And they've got all the cool stores. You've obviously got Scoops Ahoy, you can hang out with Steve and Robin. But they've got all the places to eat. You've got the movie theater, for crying out loud. There's so much to do at Starcourt Mall. I'd be there all day, every day. And I think most of you watching this video would be too. Who wouldn't want to be at Starcourt? It looks heavenly in there. Next, we've got Brimborn Steelworks. Never catch me here. This is the location from season 3 where Billy crashes his car and then is sort of staked out for a good chunk of the season while the physical form Mind Flayer takes form. I would never, ever want to go here. And there's no reason for me to. Unless I'm like trying to hide from someone and I'm on the run. Even then, never catch me there. Next we have Benny's Burgers, which honestly, if I lived in Hawkins, I'd say I'd be there pretty often. I would love to go smack a good burger. Now, I'd have to get there prior to the early events of season 1 in order to actually eat here because, yeah, I just don't think that would work out in the long run with Benny dying, unfortunately. But Benny's Burgers would hit. And every time I see 11 eat that burger, the fries, and have that ice cream, looks delicious. Next, we got the trailer park, which I'm gonna say I'd rarely go to. Max and Eddie live here in season 4. I don't think I'd have any reason to be over there unless I were visiting one of those two characters. And even then, I don't think I'd be hanging out over at the trailer park that much. So I'm gonna say rarely, don't fully count it out. Next, we got the Hawkins Public Library. I'm gonna say every now and then to the Hawkins Library. If I need some useful information, you might catch me there. If I need to go, read some files or if I'm doing some investigative work, I might be spotted at the Hawkins Library, but it's not a place I'm going ideally. I'm not a huge reader. I'd rather be watching a movie at the movie theater, so I'm good, but I still would have to go here every now and then for some useful info. Next, we've got Skull Rock. Again, every now and then I'd hang out here maybe. I don't feel like I would just go here to go here, but every now and then I might hang out at Skull Rock and, I would listen to a podcast or go there to outline videos if it was Hawkins in 2024. It'd be a cool place to go on a walk to and just have that be like my cool down spot. So every now and then. Next we got Bradley's Big Guy, and honestly I'd say I'd be going here pretty often. This would be like a convenience store that I would go to. I need to pick up a bag of ice. I need to pick up, a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper. I need some bread or some tissues, you name it. I feel like Bradley's Big Guy is a spot to be. It is basically your small town southern grocery store with all the cooking needs, all the, random little things you could think of. They got it at Bradley's Big Guy. I'd say I'd be there pretty often, to be honest with you, and I might even get some Eggo waffles while I'm there. If you know, which you should know. Next, we got the Creel House, which I just don't think I'd ever have the desire to go to. Within the context of Stranger Things, it's basically a haunted house. So, you know what? I would say rarely. I would actually say rarely because I might go there if I'm with friends and they peer pressure me into going and checking out. But even then, very, very rarely would I want to go here, especially with its history in Hawkins. I don't think I would want to go here, but there's a rare occasion, once in a blue moon maybe, I go check out the Creel House and end up being scared shitless. Next we have Surfer Roy Pizza, which again, I feel like I'm going to go here pretty often. I love a good slice, and they make it look so damn good and delicious. Oh, I could go for some pizza right now. I'm getting hungry, but I'd say I'd go here pretty often right about here. I like pizza more than I like a good burger, and there are more options to get good burgers, I feel like Surfer Boy Pizza, I could go for some of that, especially if I live, you know, in Cali, over in the California storyline. Surfer Boy Pizza would be the move on a Friday night. Get some pies. Try before you deny, brother. Next, we got the Harrington house, Steve's house that we see in season 1. If I were friends with Steve, you'd probably catch me here a good bit. He's got a cool pool in his backyard. The house itself's pretty big compared to some of the other houses. I'd say every now and then I'd be spotted hanging out here. I'll go right in the middle. It just depends. If we're having a pool party, I'm down. Next, we have Lenora Hills High School, which is the Cali storyline school that Eleven and Will attend. I don't think I'd ever be caught here. If I'm picking a school to attend in Stranger Things, it's not this one, especially because Angela goes there. Catch me here never. I mean, I have a better shot being there than the Brimborn Steelworks, but why would I want to go all the way out to California and go to school there when I could just go to Hawkins High School? It's pretty simple. Next, we got the Hawkins Police Station. Do not catch me here. I don't want to be here. I'm putting that at the back. That's the last place I think I'd want to be. If I'm at the police station, that means I'm in trouble, and I don't want to be in trouble with the law, all right? I would never be caught at the police station. There's no need for me to be there unless I'm getting investigated or unless I did something wrong and got arrested, and hopefully that's never the case. Moving on, we've got the Palace Arcade. In the 80s in Hawkins, I'm there. I'm there all day, every day. Screw it. I'm putting it up there right now behind Starcourt. This place looks so cool. I would say I would want to be here a lot because if we didn't have video games to play, I had to go to the arcade. Let's go run some Dig Dug. Let's go run some Pac-Man. Let's do this thing, right? There's probably some sports games in there as well. Let's have some fun. Arcade, it's of a bygone era. It no longer really exists in today's day and age unless you go to like Dave & Buster's, but the invention of like video game consoles and smartphone apps has really taken video games a lot further than we ever thought they would go. But back then, the arcade would be like an all-day, every-day type of place. You gotta be there, gotta go to the arcade. And bouncing off that, we got Family Video, which is right next door. You already know I'm there all day, every day. Frankly, I'm putting that at the top because I love watching movies. I loved going to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video growing up. I didn't have a Family Video near me, so I never went to one of those. But Family Video is Blockbuster. It's Hollywood Video. I remember walking those aisles all the time as a kid, being fascinated by all the different covers, the artwork, letting my mind and imagination run wild in those video stores. I'm there all day, every day. I'm watching movies. We don't have streaming services. I gotta go rent and watch movies that way. I'm there all day, every day. You gotta pull me out of there. I'm probably applying to work there if I'm in high school and at this time. So yeah, Family Video, I'd be living there. Next, we got Melvald's General Store, comparable to Bradley's Big Guy. I feel like this is an every now and then type place. I'll put it at the top every now and then. You know, I'm going to Bradley's Big Guy for most of my needs, but if I need something else, like if I need some office stuff, like say some paper, pens, tape, stuff like that, I'm going here over Bradley's Big Guy. So these aren't things that I'm going to need every single day. I'm not going to need to go here every week and make a list where I do need to do that with Bradley's Big Guy. For Melvald's, I'd say every now and then. I could check in and, you know, maybe even get some Christmas lights or a new phone. Next, we got Hawkins Lab. I'm going to say rarely again. I'm going to go actually at the top of rarely. Similar reasons. I feel like there's this spooky aura to it where I might want to go check it out every now and then, see what's going on, and maybe have an encounter with something from the upside down here. But I really don't want to be here too much because with Hawkins Lab, usually there comes trouble. So I think I'm good, but rarely I might find myself there. Next, we got Rinkomania. I would say I'd go here pretty often. I'd put it like right here, honestly. I am a fairly good rollerblader, which is surprising. I can roller skate fairly well. Ice skating is not my forte, but this is more my speed. And it's funny because in real life, my girlfriend is the ice skater. I am not, but I can roller skate and she's not really good at that. So it's just funny how that all turned out. Anyway, I loved Rinkomania when we got it. If I saw Angela there, I would also want to hit her with a rollerblade in the face. I don't know what that says about me, but she's maybe the worst character in Stranger Things. The music's bopping. You got some 80s bangers playing. Why not? It reminds me of a roller skate rink I had near my house growing up that I would go to. They had like skate nights hosted by the school where you raise money for the school. And I remember going a lot and having fun. So yeah, I'd probably want to go there growing up. Next, we got the Wheeler House. I'd say I'd be here pretty often hanging out. I like to imagine if I were friends with, you know, the gang, if you will, the party, if you will. I would like to be here pretty often. I'd say like right here. I like to eat, so I'd put those above it, but still hanging out the Wheeler House, specifically the Wheeler basement. It's iconic within Stranger Things, and sitting on that couch, you know, playing some D&D. Let's run it down there, the Wheeler House. Next, we have the Hawkins Pool. I'd say top of every now and then because I'm not going to the pool outside of summer season, but during the summer, I'd probably go there a couple times a week, especially if I didn't have a pool in my backyard where I lived in Hawkins. I'd be there every now and then, getting a little swim in. Even then, I feel like for me in real life, I go to the pool right when like pool season begins, and then I just don't swim that much. That's just how I am. Next, we got Hopper's cabin, isolated out in the woods. In real life, I believe it's actually an escape room you could do, and I might have to look into that at some point. Doing a video around that, that could be awesome. Anyway, that's a topic for another time. When it comes to Hopper's cabin, I find myself here rarely. I'll go top of rarely because maybe I want to go, hang out with Hopper, or I find myself needing to go out in solace in the woods, but there's not much to do out at Hopper's cabin. It's always felt like more of a hideout than anything, and so I don't think I need to find myself there that much. I'd rarely want to be there. Next, we have Lucas's house, which I also feel like I would rarely be at. Of the main kids' houses, Mike's is the coolest. I feel like I would rarely be at Luke's house. I'd go to Hopper's cabin more than I go there, honestly. And then we've got the Buyer house, which I don't think I ever really would want to be at, to be honest with you. I would say rarely as well. I mean, maybe every now and then. We'll say every now and then. I think the Wheeler house is clear cut the best. If you're at the Buyer house, usually something's going wrong, all right? And I don't know if I want to be taking on a Demogorgon or dealing with some potential threat. I would still say every now and then, though. Like, probably, I'd rather be at the Harrington house. So yeah, I'll put the Buyer house there, but especially in season 1, I don't want to be there, guys. And rounding out the houses, we've got Dustin's house. He has a pretty cool house, I'm not gonna lie, and he has that little, like, cellar out back in the shed. I'd say every now and then I'd want to go here. Still gonna put Steve's house over it, but Dustin, I'd like to go visit, and see what's going on over there. Dustin's room's got some unique stuff in it, and I feel like I could be entertained enough. Next, we have Penhurst Mental Hospital. Catch me here never in a million years. I'm putting this actually at the back. I think this is the last place I'd want to be out of any of these locations. I don't want to go see Victor Creel and who else is locked up there. Creepy vibes. If you guys have seen Silence of the Lambs, it reminds me of that scene when Clarice is walking down the hall to get to Hannibal Lecter, and the people are shouting stuff at her and doing some very obscene things to her. It's creepy. Catch me here never. And last on this list, I've got Hawkins High School, which honestly, I'd be here all day, every day. I'm gonna put it right here, close to the top of all day, every day. For starters, you gotta go to school. If I'm a high schooler this time, I'm there all the time, but still, you could go to an after-school event. You got basketball games, you could do the Hellfire Club, you could run track for all I know. I mean, there's a lot to do. You have a nature trail out back. It's just a spot to be. Right? The cafeteria, anything, you name it. I'm going, I'm hanging out. I'll ride my bike up there. Hawkins High School, the vibes are unreal. And in real life, we just lost the filming location. They're demolishing it right now. I made a video about that recently. You guys should go check out. But it's bittersweet. If you haven't had the chance to go visit in person, I'm very sorry if you missed out. But if you have been there, let me know what you thought of it. And Hawkins High School is just iconic. It's one of the locations from Stranger Things. And so I'd have to be there all day, every day. But that's my ranking of the Stranger Things iconic locations. There are lots of other locations from the show I didn't include on this tier list. Which ones do you think I should have put on here? Let me know in the comments down below. But hit that like button, subscribe to that notification bell, and stay tuned for more content coming very soon. But until next time, I'll see you on the other side of the Upside Down.